Hey guys, one question that comes up a lot is, can't the witness or witnesses against the defendant appear by Zoom in a criminal case? I mean, it's stressful being in court with the person who might have assaulted you or whatever, your victim. Why should that person, who's quite possibly a victim, have to be put through that? This comes up most frequently regarding Erika Patterson and the admirable idea of foiling Brooks' desire to drag her into court again. I get it. Well, the answer to some degree is in the question. If the person on trial is presumed innocent in the trial, and they are, then a witness cannot be, or at least shouldn't be, presumed to be a victim of that person. That's the point of the trial. The Constitution says someone on trial in criminal court shall enjoy the right to be confronted by the witnesses against him. Courts will frequently say this Confrontation Clause means the person needs to be in court and testify. That's the point of a trial. It's live. The person is confronted with the seriousness of the testimony and the proceeding, and the jury can directly watch the witness interact live. A Zoom call or something like it, the position is, loses a lot of that, and personally I agree. Even TV presenters sometimes don't wear pants when they're appearing remote. Sitting in front of a camera somewhere where you're comfortable is not the same as sitting in a witness box live or appearing in court live. Trust me, it isn't. Not even when it's live streamed. So back to the Erika situation, Wisconsin has several statutes on video testimony. The statute, though, says if a defendant is entitled to be in the courtroom and then objects to remote testimony, the court shall sustain the objection. The comment to this section says, this section is also intended to preserve constitutional and other rights to confront and effectively cross-examine witnesses. It provides the right to prevent the use of video conferencing technology to present such adverse witnesses, but rather require that such witnesses be physically produced in the courtroom. In requiring a defendant's objection to the use of video conferencing to be sustained, this section also preserves the defendant's speedy trial rights. Now, of course, there are exceptions, and sometimes children are afforded limited special protection, but this is the general rule. Of course, also the defendant can decide not to object and even agree. This just happened a little while ago. That's why I'm making this video in the Scot Peterson case. That's the deputy on trial for action or inaction related to the Parkland shooting in Florida. He and the state agreed to remote testimony, and this is just before lunch. The judge made clear he was not a party to this agreement, however, the judge. He even swore Mr. Peterson in to make sure he knew what he was waiving. And the judge made it clear that if at any point either side objected to remote testimony, he would sustain that objection even if other witnesses had already done that. And I think his comments about remote testimony are on point generally. So let's listen to what he has to say.
So, Mr. Agash, you're aware of the state's, I guess we'll call it a request. They want a witness to testify via Zoom?
Yeah, we don't object. They're being professional and allowing us to have witnesses testify by Zoom. So.
Well, I mean, you both may be agreeing, but I didn't say that I'm going to let that happen yet. We're going to go one step at a time.
Oh, okay.
So the state is telling me that this afternoon it would be their intention, without objection from your lawyer, to have a witness testify not here in person, but over Zoom. So I'm going to have a quick discussion with you about that, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Peterson, I need you to understand this isn't civil court, okay? And from my perspective, a witness appearing on Zoom does not meet the constitutional requirements regarding confrontation. You understand that?
I do.
In other words, a live witness is sitting right in this chair. Jurors can see the witness, they can see their body language, they can see their facial expressions, they can see their reactions to the direct examination questions, to the cross-examination questions. When someone is appearing on video over Zoom, all of that is lost. Do you understand that?
I do.
All right, so in other words, in my opinion, this does not meet what the Constitution requires for confronting witnesses against you. Do you understand that?
I do.
All right, so here's what that means, sir. If you all objected to that, I would not allow. Do you understand that?
I do.
And similarly, if it's a defense witness, if the state objected, similarly, I would not allow. Are you with me so far?
I am.
All right, have you had time to talk to your lawyer about this procedure?
Yes.
I can give you more time. We can address it now, and I can conclude this conversation when we come back from the lunch break if you want more time to talk to me.
No, we can do it right now, Your Honor.
Okay, and you have no objection?
I do not.
Okay, so I want to make sure you understand, sir, at somewhere down the line, if this doesn't turn out in your favor, okay, this is not going to be an issue on appeal. This is not going to be an issue where you say my lawyer made a mistake. My lawyer shouldn't have agreed to this. My lawyer didn't explain to me that I could have objected to this and I could have prevented this. My lawyer did not explain to me that I was entitled to have a live witness in person, in front of the jury, so they could hear all their testimony. You're good with all that?
If I just may inquire about it.
Sure.
Is this for just this witness, or is this like now and it'll be Zoom from this point on?
Sir, as far as I'm concerned, this is for every witness in any criminal case in the entire state of Florida. I mean, that's how we do things. We have live trials with live witnesses in person so the jurors can see them. So the answer to your question is yes, this would apply to everyone. So that also means if we arrive at a point in this trial where either side starts objecting to the use of a witness testifying over Zoom, I'm going to sustain the objection. I'm not going to allow it on either side. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Okay. And understanding all that, you still have no objection to this?
That's correct.
Okay.
So here we're talking about the great power of the state to take away the liberty of someone who at trial is presumed innocent. The right to confront a witness is a cornerstone right of a defendant whose liberty, and in some cases life, is at stake. Now, I personally agree with not watering it down with some shaky workarounds that only sometimes work, and even then are short in many ways compared to the serious experience of being in court. I'm sympathetic to victims all the time, but sometimes hard things must be done. And in the case of Erika, she has already done that in the last trial. She did very well, and in my opinion, looked confident and powerful. I think she'll be the same in the second trial, in the second set of charges, if it does make it to trial. Well, that's the general answer to this often asked question, and that's it. Thanks, bye.